Hello, welcome to the programme, and we begin with the latest developments in Syria. And these dramatic pictures just in show Islamist rebels making another breakthrough in their surprise offensive in Syria, this time entering the strategic city of Hama, apparently unopposed. You can see the rebels riding into the city on near empty streets and being welcomed by cheering local people. Well, in these pictures, the rebels turn the cameras round and film themselves celebrating. The Syrian army says it has now withdrawn its forces from Hama, effectively ceding control there to the rebel forces. Well, the rebel campaign to seize the city began just 2 days ago, and it comes after their surprise capture of the city of Aleppo last week, which reignited the war in Syria. Let's get the very latest from our correspondent, Barbara Plett-Usher, who's monitoring events in Syria from Beirut. And Barbara, this lightning offensive by the rebels seems to be continuing apace.
Yes, as you said, they launched their offensive last week and took the city of Aleppo almost without resistance. That was a very speedy seizure of the city, which surprised everyone. And then they pushed south from Aleppo towards the next big city, Hama. There the government did put up a resistance. The Damascus sent reinforcements of soldiers to fight them off. And they have been fighting there over the past couple of days. But now they have managed to take the city. They have moved into Hama. They have actually seized control of the prison there and released inmates. And the army said it was redeploying outside Hama in order to prevent civilian casualties. So it seems to be another big retreat by the army and another big victory for the rebels. And that's really going to send shockwaves through Damascus. This city is on the road to Damascus, and there's one other major strategic city, Homs, in between Hama and the capital, and the rebels have said they're going to move on to that city.
All right, Barbara, thank you very much indeed. Barbara Plett-Usher there with the latest from Lebanon. And we can also talk right now to Dr. Rim Tukmani, who's a Syrian Senior Research Fellow at the London School of Economics. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Just talk us through what is going on in Syria right now. We've got this offensive. Who are the rebels? What are they trying to do?
So just going back to your reporting earlier today, you described them as Islamist groups. These rebels, while they are a coalition led by Islamist group, but the bulk of it is actually just ordinary Syrian people. They're not exactly Islamists. They were the people who were kicked out of their cities, out of their towns. They've seen their brothers and sisters killed throughout 12 years. They've been preparing themselves throughout the last 4 years because there was cessation of hostilities, and they were trying to seize the moment. And the moment came with the weakening of Iran. Russia partly withdrew from Syria, and they saw the opportunity to grab some of the cities, hoping to force Assad to come to a real and serious settlement.
So taken Aleppo, taken Hama, it appears, and Homs, which I think is where your family are from in Syria. That could be next, is that right?
They're saying now they want to go to Homs next. My father now in Homs, all my sisters were pleading to him to leave the city now, and he was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I think that would be the attitude of most people in the city. This is our city, we're not going anywhere. And as far as I know, the rebels who are trying to get into Homs are people from Homs itself. So they will be from the city. That will be safer. They know it. They know all the fears. They can address all the issues. And they're already very aware now of the sensitivities. Like we have many peoples in Homs who are extremely worried, who are very supportive of the regime. They will be terrified now. And the message I heard is that they're aware of this. They're not going to touch them. They're trying to give reassurances now. What's going to happen on the ground, we don't know. It is important to watch because it's very different composition to Hama or Aleppo.
Let's just put this into a wider historical context. All this began with the Arab Spring uprising, didn't it, 2011? Then we had the Syrian civil war, brutal civil war for many years. That then sort of fell out of the headlines, didn't it? We reached a sort of stalemate. But this has all reignited the war. So where does this leave the Assad regime, do you think?
Because the roots of all of this is that people who were governed historically against their will and by dictatorship. This was not a civil war, while there was a strong civic war element, but that's a proxy war. Everything happening now is mainly due to regional alliances and changes in the regional dynamics, weakening of regional allies. What's happening?
So just on that, because Hezbollah have been weakened,
Iran
because
has been weakened.
Russia is fighting against Ukraine. So,
exactly.
So Assad's allies have sort of got other things on their minds.
Absolutely. And on Friday, there's a meeting in Doha between Turkey, Iran, and Russia. And the fact that there was a fierce attempt to take Hama before Friday is actually to change the negotiation dynamics on that table based on how much area they've taken. Hama is significant, and taking Hama and Salamiyah, they took another nearby city, is absolutely significant, and the hope is going to change the outcome of the negotiations in favor of the opposition.
Do you think ultimately Assad and his regime could fall?
They could fall. For the first time, I can say they could fall. Assad insisted on refusing every attempt for a political solution, for real negotiations. They failed lately. Turkey was trying to negotiate with him, and what we're seeing lately is because of the failure of the negotiation track with Turkey. So if he continues to refuse to settle and sit on the table and agree to share power with his own people, not with the extremists, put them aside, the people of Syria, they deserve to have stake in their own country, share power with their own people, and just continue